Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? It's your boy G Money hosting this week. Drop that beat.
Drew on the keys on this shit now.
Thank you. Round of applause. Appreciate it. Hey, it's your man G Money here. I get to host this week. Throw it to my boys. Introduce yourselves.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Jae. What up, y'all? Jae Jones in the building. Was popping. Was good. Showtime. Let's go.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's Willie P, Willie Beeman, Chill Will, however you want to call it. We can do it.
Willie sound like he putting out an R&B album and shit. Like he trying to soothe the bitches and shit. Like, yeah, I know what's up, bitches. It's Willie.
You already know. Smooth.
I ain't mad at it.
Hey, speaking about him, I mean, we jumping right into the heat out here. Speaking first topic, we could topping right into the heat. We're going NCAA women's champion swimmer Lia Thomas, first transgender to win. Wins a 500 freestyle by about a second and 3/4, 1.75 seconds over everybody else. What's y'all's take on this, man? This is a big topic out there right now. Where y'all thinking here, Jay? Talk to me.
Get your ass out the pool, man. Get your ass out the pool, man. I listened to that Boosie shit, man, and to be honest with you, me personally, it doesn't sit right with me. I don't think that she should be able to compete with women. Apparently, a lot of her teammates think the same thing as well. A lot of her teammates, even the parents, wrote letters to the NCAA just talking about her. Talking about how her, I know she took the testosterone suppression therapy, and it's a lot of theories and thoughts that maybe all of those traits didn't necessarily go away. So it's definitely, I don't think it's right. And it sucks, man. Like, because nobody's gonna win. Like, the transgender community is gonna feel like they're not being treated equally, and then you got the women who feel like they're not treated equally because you got a transgender woman in their sports. But I don't think it's right. I don't think it's cool at all. I don't think it's cool.
What you think, Willie?
Competitivenessly, however that word is. No, it ain't cool. It's not cool. It's not equal. It's not fair. But I'm gonna play a little devil advocate real quick here, right? It did say she took the HRT, the hormone replacement treatment, right? Since 2019, she says basically she feels like a woman. Well, he says she feels like a woman. Always felt that way, right?
Typical he say, she say. Go ahead, then.
Always felt that way. Says she feels good when she's racing against other women and she looks up and she sees her names on the board with women where she felt she'd always belong. Now, I do think that maybe the transgender, that should be like, you have Special Olympics and special sports. They should have their own category, or what's the word? But they should have their own. They should be able to compete if they want to compete against transgenders. That should be a thing. But I said I feel for her, but they did mention that she doesn't have an unfair advantage because at some meet, I'm not too sure where the meet was. They said, yeah, she won, but she won that swim meet that we were talking about. But 27 women records was broken in this one meet, and 18 of it was broken by one chick by the name of Kate Douglas from the University of Virginia. So in that aspect, they saying she can dominate at times. So they're saying that she's not necessarily given an advantage. Now I know we like to say that men are physically superior most of the time than women, but in this case, they're saying it's always the exception to the rules. And this chick Kate Douglas is the exception to the rule that they're trying to use to say that basically she doesn't have an unfair advantage. But yeah, I think they should just go ahead and get their own little compete
Yeah,
against
get
each
their
other.
own league. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you. Yeah, I think that they should get their own league. I don't feel like it's not gonna be acceptable. You're gonna always have people that's gonna speak out. Like I said, you're gonna have the student, like the naturally born women who are gonna
Yeah.
feel some kind of way. You're gonna have so you might as well just create their own, you know what I'm saying, our own league. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, when he was before he transitioned, he was ranked 462, and now as a woman, she's ranked number one. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There was another meet that they had, and I think another problem this creates is that you don't know, or I know the NCAA is supposed to, kind of make sure that these these transitions happen, but they were in another meet like late last year with another transgender athlete, and that athlete hadn't even transitioned over. And they were saying a lot of the Penn State, even her teammates that were on Penn State, feel like that they came together to kind of like throw the race or throw the, you know what I'm saying? So you got females worrying like, is this a real woman? You know what I'm saying? Are we going like it's mentally messing with them at this point in time, and they don't have a chance to compete. And they train all year to do everything that they
Yeah.
can to compete at the highest level, and then you get somebody who's transgender to like, nah, hold my beer, I'm gonna go in here and hop in there. And you know what I'm saying? Even though they said she didn't dominate, but you know what I'm saying, she won a few meets earlier, late last year. So you know I'm with Willie. Like, you gotta,
I agree. I
create
agree.
another league.
I definitely like that idea, Willie. I think the fact is, there's not enough of these transgender females out there, kind of thing. A couple of things that jumped out to me. This isn't the first transgender woman out there. The first ever to compete was Shyler Blair, and obviously we didn't hear about her because she wasn't winning. She wasn't winning nothing. Like this, Lia Thomas here. Lia Thomas, as a guy, her best time was 7 seconds faster than Katie Ledecky. She's the greatest women's swimmer of all time. 7 seconds faster. So after she went through this transition, it was a 1 year testosterone, like y'all said, suppression. Ended up being 2 years because of the pandemic. So she doesn't beat Katie Ledecky's time, but like you said, also Katie Ledecky's time has been beaten 1,500 times by male athletes. So on the regular, it's unfair competition, like y'all said. So, hey, can we get another league? Can we get
And G, to your point, you had another transgender athlete who won a national championship back in 2019. Her name was CC Telfair, and she was in Division II when she won the 400 meter hurdles in 2019. So I don't, like you said, it's not a lot now, but it looks like it's like a trend moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And
somebody who started this trend, maybe Caitlyn Jenner? She came out and was like,
I seen that.
this is not the rightful winner. Like this is bad for women's sports. And I mean, that's huge. She's coming out, Caitlyn Jenner's coming out, and saying that because he one of the greatest athletes, could be say, of all time, kind of thing. And
It's crazy.
there's some truth behind it, because we want women to be athletic and amazing at what they do. But if you got men transgendering over there, whether that's what they feel they are or not as women, is an unfair advantage.
Exactly. And I just read that article with Caitlyn Jenner, and I had to like double look at it. Like, did I read this right? Like, she came out and said that this wasn't right. And so it, like you said, it's interesting. I'm gonna play kind of a devil's advocate too as well. So a lot of people are saying, like, a lot of people are saying that it should be equal. It should be equality and everything like that, right? I don't know if y'all remember last year, for the Olympics, you had a track star named Caster Semenya from South Africa, who was born natural female. She identifies as a woman and everything like that. And they won't let her run in the Olympics because they say her testosterone is too high. And she, you know what I'm saying? But she took it to arbitration and everything. They will not let her race. They tried to get her to lower her testosterone by taking pills and everything like that. And she was like, nah, I'm not doing none of that. And it was other runners as well later that summer who were denied and actually banned from running in the Olympics because their natural testosterone was too high. But then you want me to sit here and say, oh, it's okay for Lia Thomas to swim with women, with these young women in college. So it's like you want equality for one thing, but you don't want equality for everything. So I think, it's always that cry. I thought that was interesting that these young women from South Africa or from Africa are unable to race, and they're naturally born women with high testosterone. It just makes no sense.
Hey, jumping right in from it has some speed there. We're going the cheetah. Tyreek Hill. Somehow things escalated quickly out in Kansas City because you hearing, hey, there's speculation he's not agreeing for a contract, and then boop, 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 boop. I'm going to MIA. Yo, what do y'all think about this Tyreek Hill deal? What do you think about this?
Go ahead, Willie.
Initially,
Go ahead.
Initially, I was surprised. I'm not one who's big on, fixing something that isn't broken, and it seemed like they had a nice machine going over there. And then is the Miami hometown kid? He from Miami. He from that area. I saw that played an influence in there. But and then it just looked like it seemed like it was that time. Sometimes we get to points where it's time. He wanted to do something different. The organization seemed like they was okay with what they received to go out and continue to compete and look for different wide receivers and different pieces. And it seemed like it was time, man. But yeah, man, he's still young, so it ain't one of those things like, damn, I couldn't see him nowhere else. But yeah, it's gonna be different.
He gave up a lot. If you don't know, he gave up the first round pick, 29th pick this year, second round, 50th pick, fourth round pick, and then a fourth and sixth in 2023, along with 120 million 4-year, 72 million guaranteed contract.
Hey, don't forget that $52 million signing bonus just to sign that motherfucker. I was interested to know why. I know Kansas City, they tried to re-sign him, but obviously they didn't want to give him what Miami gave him, and I'm interested to know why. I was actually wondering if it had anything to do with his he maybe a few years back he had like a domestic case that came about. So I was trying to see if that played a part into it, although we seen somebody we're about to talk about later on, Deshaun Watson, who just got 230 million guaranteed. So I was curious to know why Kansas City chose not to pay him. I do think it was a bad move on Kansas City's part to let him go. That's your Patrick Mahomes' favorite target. So to let him go, just like Walt, they got draft picks for him. They got 12 total draft picks. They got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and 2 third-round picks. And I believe 2 fourth-round picks in this year's draft. So they can definitely rebuild with it being a nice wide receiver class this draft. But it was really interesting to see that. Like you said, G, like I was on Twitter, and the next thing you know, it was like, oh, Kansas City's allowing Tyreek Hill to seek a trade. Oh, they got the Jets and the Dolphins. The Packers, I'm surprised the Packers didn't go a little bit harder, seeing how they're losing all their wide receivers. But it's definitely a great thing for Miami. And if you're Oakland, or I'm sorry, Las Vegas, like this was a double win. You got Devontae Adams and you got Cheetah out of your division because you gave Devontae Adams a large contract. And Cheetah was like, hold that shit right quick. Drew Rosenhaus, what we can do about that, man? So I think that's a double win for them. And again, Miami, they got speed. They got your boy G, Cedric Wilson, Jalen Waddle. Yeah, they got him over there. So they just picked up the offensive lineman, the left tackle, Teron Armstead, and they got Raheem Mozart and Chase Edmonds. So they got a lot of speed down there. So they're going to be dangerous. Definitely going to be dangerous.
I got a question. AFC West, does this make Kansas City like they're not favored anymore? We got the Chargers made moves. LA made moves. I mean, Denver made moves. Like, what's going on out there?
Made moves. The Chiefs got Juju.
They got Juju.
They got Juju. He gonna be dancing with Jackson Mahomes and shit. They gonna have a dance off every Sunday.
Do Chiefs win the division?
I still think they have an opportunity. I know it's easy to write them off right now because they lost one of their best players, and we've seen what the other teams are doing. They got Andy Reid, and they still got Eric Bieniemy, and Andy Reid, has worked with Les over in Philly.
Oh man.
I know that was the NFC East, but
that's not a yes. That's not a yes that's coming out your mouth.
I think Kansas City can still. I think they still win the division.
Okay.
I still think they win it.
What about you, Willie? Kansas City win this?
I had when we asked this question last week, I had Kansas City. I can't call it. I can't say that they do, but like I said, I most definitely can't count them out. They got opportunity to make some things happen. They got some weapons. They got Patrick over there. They said they got Andy Reid, one of the greatest minds. So I can't count them out. They did lose a stellar talent, but I can't count them out for sure. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. It changed the whole dynamic of the whole conference, the whole division. Like that one move.
Definitely did.
Yeah,
I mean, they still got Josh Gordon over there, roll one, light one. You know what I'm saying? So I think they still. It's easy to say that they're not gonna win because they lost Tyreek Hill, but when they were going through their issues in this, last season, they were still winning games, and Tyreek Hill wasn't putting up numbers. And I know this because I had Tyreek Hill in my fantasy league, and it was like multiple weeks where he was just giving me like 8, 9, 6 and shit like that. So the other division got a lot better, but I still think they got a chance, and I think they will win it, man. What you think, G? You think they're gonna win it?
Nope. Not Kansas City. LA Chargers. Chargers are taking that thing with all their moves, I feel. I got some next gen stats out here. So Tyreek Hill since 2016 leads the entire NFL in 20+ yard touchdowns. He has 28 of them.
Okay.
He didn't get enough of me last year in fantasy, motherfucker.
That's with Mahomes. Now you going to Tua. How many completions do you think? I did a little research. I crunched some numbers. I was looking things up all day. How many completions do you think Tua has over 20 yards?
Shit, with Jalen, probably about, I'm going to say less than 10.
Less than 10?
Yeah. Between him being hurt and just their offense being their offense, yeah.
What about you, Willie?
I will give him, man, 20 for 20.
Jay was a little closer. He had 11 completions over 20.
God damn.
11 completions all season. Patrick Mahomes last season, 27 completions over 20 yards.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're going to a whole different ball game now for Tyreek. I don't know if his stats are going to continue.
Yeah, that was questionable for me too. The quarterback, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened over there. Like they said it was time. They said it was mutual, and they just wanted to go their separate ways. But yeah, it's a whole lot of skeptical pieces over there.
Was it all about the money?
Oh, of
Uh,
course. It's always
uh,
about the money, man. Like it's always about the money. I mean, he sat there and talked about he was torn between New York and Miami. Like, what are we torn about, bro? Like, unless it's something family related, personal, then yeah. But other than that, like South Beach, New York, state tax, high ass tax, like warm weather versus seasonal weather. Like, nah, B, come on, Tyreek. That's why when they asked him about the Jets today, he was like, who? The Jets. Nah, I was always going to Miami. I mean, let's just be real. And I think with Tua
better be
last year,
careful, B.
yeah, like I
Get
mean,
you, B. You better be careful, B. It's like, nah.
I'm just saying, like Miami, you getting paid, you about to be on South Beach, you know, I don't know. But I think with Tua last year too, I think he had a lot of pressure on him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was was he the third or fifth pick last year in the draft or whatever? So it was a lot of expectation on him. I mean, it's a lot more on him now, but I think they were talking about trading for Deshaun Watson, so he had that going on. He couldn't stay on the field. Um, you know, it was a lot going on for him, and it still might be a lot going on because they got Tyrod. No, who did they get? Teddy Bridgewater, and they keep asking Teddy Bridgewater if he's the starter, and he like, I can't really tell you that. So I think if Tua gets a shot, I think it's gonna be like Alabama all over for him again, man. One wide receivers running free, you know.
Hey, we will see. We will see about that. Now, went from one big deal to another, probably the biggest deal in the offseason. And this offseason just keeps giving and giving. Craziest NFL offseason in forever. Got Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns weren't even in the picture. It was between Atlanta and the Saints last time we were talking previous week. And then all of a sudden, boom, Browns, I want to go there. We traded 3 first-round picks, 2022, 23, 24, third-round pick, fourth-round picks in 2022 and 24. And then, like Jay said earlier, $230 million guaranteed for 5 years, $45 million signing bonus. What does that do for the Browns? What does that do for the Browns?
That makes them a championship contender off the top.
Championship contender.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. How could you not? They already had the defense. They got the running game. They got the offensive line. They got your boy Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying?
He's loving that they got Watson, I bet.
Yeah, they got David Njoku, and you talking about Odell's open to coming back. Not to say that's gonna be a factor or whatever, but you know, you pick up a wide receiver or two in the draft. I mean, who's to say Jarvis Landry doesn't come back now? I mean, even without Jarvis Landry, I mean, they were a quarterback away, and he just wasn't it. So they definitely, you know, gonna get that championship kind of like, you know, they had that going 2 years ago when they got Odell 2 or 3 years ago. They were supposed to be the, you know, championship built team, but Deshaun Watson, like we seen him do it with less talent. And now that he got 2 running backs and an offensive line and a defense, yeah, they're gonna be tough.
So what do you think, Willie? What does that do for Cleveland?
I'm kind of sold off with Jay right there. I wasn't saying it at first. I mean, championship contenders, I guess over time, sure. I don't know. Like I said, they gotta get Landry back. They gotta get their pieces back before I can actually say. But yeah, Jay did a good job over there with Sotheby with Deshaun Watson. Like I said, over time, I can see something happening. Like I said, I like their running game. I like their defense. Like I said, I don't know about if you have the weapons at receivers right now. But let's see if they get their pieces back. Let's see. He's still young. That's another thing that worried me. He sat out for 2 years, but he's still young. He had 26 years old. I didn't realize he was so young.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, does Deshaun start the season as the quarterback, or is he on suspension for a couple games? What do y'all think about that? Actually, the case is still lingering. Civil case is still out there. They said no criminal cases. A couple popped up earlier today, but it got denied by the grand jury. So,
I mean, you're gonna have to. I think you gotta suspend him. I think Zeke, your boy, got suspended for 6 games. I think you got other players, Big Ben, 6. You know, I think he's got to at least get 6 to 8 games. I think that's gonna be the thing that's gonna hurt Cleveland, because again, they're in a loaded division with Lamar and Joe Burrow.
oh,
So
hey, Bengals not going to the playoffs this year. What I tell y'all, they're not winning it.
I got the Bengals going, bro. I don't know who the fuck's going, man. But I think that what they're doing in the offseason is they just signed your boy Collins. They signed like 2 or 3 offensive linemen. That's all they had to do. It's just about health. But I do think I think Cleveland's gonna have to try to find a way to navigate with him being suspended. If he gets suspended like 4 games, first of all, folks ain't gonna be happy. Second of all, they'll definitely be able to get to the playoffs. But if he gets suspended like 6 to 8, they're gonna have to figure out, they're gonna have to win like half of those somehow. But I do think he gets suspended.
Let him play. Let him play.
What are you trying to cause it?
Let him play. You know what I'm saying? Let him play. They say they keep throwing shit out. They keep bringing shit up. They keep throwing shit out. Let's stop him on the wrist. Let him play.
He sat out the entire last year, you know.
I know, goddamn. He's a rusty. Let him play.
But that was his fault. That was his fault he sat out. That wasn't the league. They didn't tell him he had to sit out. He sat out.
He showed
He
up.
was going through some things that ain't fall through. That fell through, right?
But I'm just saying that wasn't the NFL that punished him. He just was like, I'm not fucking with this organization. So he was like, I ain't.
Deshaun showed up ready to play. Texans was like, no, we are not playing you.
They was trying to trade Buddy. But I'm saying he came out and said he wasn't gonna play. Then the Texans said, you know what? Well, shit, we can try to trade him. Well, you know what? Go ahead, sit down. They didn't encourage him. Go ahead, sit down, little buddy. Go chill for a minute. We gonna go, we're gonna bomb this season right quick.
Speaking about sitting down, we got is Baker Mayfield and now Jordan Love of the Cleveland Browns? Does he stay there with the clipboard? Or what's gonna happen to him?
I think Cleveland is gonna have to release him. I don't think they're gonna get a trade for him. I think they're gonna have to release him. Nobody's trading for Baker. He played injured last year, had a shitty year. His character and everything is being slaughtered and slandered right now. So like nobody's trading for that, bro. Like, and you got to get rid of him because you don't have space on your roster. So you got to get rid of him before the draft, I think. So you're gonna have to release him. And I think Pittsburgh's gonna pick him up, and I think Pittsburgh's gonna that's gonna make the division 10 times better than what it is now because Baker gets to play them twice.
What do you think, Willie? Baker.
I think they release him. I do agree with Jay on that. Where he goes, I'm not totally sure. I think he may sit behind somebody wherever he go, but I do think that the Browns release him. I think he had that much, I don't want to say respect, but I think he had that much of a name to at least get released and be able to explore a little bit, without shaming him completely. But I think he's going to sit behind someone. I don't know where he's going to go, but I think he's going to sit behind somebody for a while.
Hey, luckily, he's got Progressive home insurance. Hopefully he's real good.
I think he might.
Services.
I think he might, if they release him, he'll get picked up right away. But like, if they don't release him before the draft, I think he's gonna be sitting until somebody gets hurt, and then you got to trade for him. Him and Jimmy G, for real. It's only one spot open. You got Cleveland. You got Seattle, and you got Carolina.
Yep. Speaking now, you talking about Baker. One of his choices was the Colts. He was like, "Yo, deal me to the Colts." Well, Colts decided to go elsewhere with their plan, and
I told you,
3rd round pick for Matt Ryan. How does that work out for Matt Ryan? How does it work out for the Falcons? He got stuck with a lot of money. The Falcons got stuck with $40 million dead money. So
lemon pepper wings, huh?
how
Lemon
y'all
pepper
think it
Lou
works
wings.
out?
Go. You want to go ahead first? You want to go ahead, Willie?
You go ahead, Jay. I'm looking for this little insert I want to read real quick.
Oh, I want. G, what you think gonna happen with Baker?
With Baker,
Yeah.
man, he's shit out of luck because all the quarterbacks get assigned everywhere else, and he's sitting there got no home nowhere right now. Like he's gonna get released. I think Houston might try to make a play for him. If Houston could do this, they just flip the script on how shitty a franchise is for dealing stuff. If they're able to make this hustle where they get all that from Cleveland, and then they're like, hey, you know what? We didn't even ask for Baker in the trade, but we're gonna get him for nothing now.
For nothing, yeah. 18 million due. Shit, it was all good just a week ago. Matt Ryan, I was actually surprised in a sense because Matt Ryan was the face, quote unquote, the face of the franchise for Atlanta for 14 years. But they've been trying to get rid of Matt Ryan for the second year in a row now. So last year they were trying to say they were going to get Justin Fields and all that out the draft. And then this year they turn around and they're just like, yeah, Deshaun. And they lose out on Deshaun. And then they, they come back and Matt Ryan's not happy, of course. So I think their hand was forced. Deshaun Watson fucked up a lot of teams. He fucked up 2 teams. But Baker and Matt Ryan both went about it differently. I think, and I told y'all this last week that Baker Mayfield was the side chick. And he's getting the side chick treatment like no other right now. I told y'all this last week. So I think for Matt Ryan, I think it works out for him. He goes to a team that has a good offensive line. They got a good running back, a pretty good defense. Frank Wright, pretty decent coach. I think it works out for him. I definitely think it makes them better. They were 1 game away from the playoffs. I really hate speaking positive about the Colts, but I do believe it's an upgrade. The Falcons, man, Marcus Mariota. I've mixed emotions. Y'all know why.
How does he get a starting gig? That's what I want to know. For last year on the Raiders, all he did was come in and do 4th and 1s for RPOs and like, I'm going to run this for a first down, and he gets a starting gig from that.
Familiarity. It's familiarity. I think I said that right. I think I may have fucked it up, but him and Arthur Smith both came from Tennessee. He coached them, so he knows the scheme. He knows the system. 1 year rental, you know what I'm saying, till somebody comes out next year. But I wouldn't have let Matt Ryan go to get Marcus Mariota, but I don't think they had a choice after the Deshaun Watson trade fell through. Matty Ice was probably pissed again at this point. So they had, like I said, their hands were forced. So works out for Matt Ryan. It's good to see Marcus get a second chance. Hope all goes well. Hope Matt Ryan doesn't do absolutely jack shit against my team, though, because we played him twice. But I do think it's an upgrade from Carson Wentz. And it's crazy because if you look at it, they flipped the Carson Wentz, I think the 3rd pick, and traded it to Atlanta to get Matt Ryan, which is pretty fucking hilarious too. So we'll see.
What you think about Matt Ryan, Willie?
I think they pass around that 3rd round pick like a motherfucker, but nah, they all passing that junk around. It is pretty funny. I like Matt. I like Matt. I do think no pun or no disrespect to Carson, but I do think he's a little bit upgrade from Wentz. And I don't think I think he's more experienced. He's more experienced upgrade than Wentz, for sure. He's a little bit more established for sure. But
does it take him where it needs to go? Does he help the Colts out?
No, he helps him out. Like
he helped him.
people are like,
he get him to
people
the
are like,
playoffs.
oh, but they was only one game out of the playoffs with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, exactly. He'll slight upgrade the Wentz, so he'll get him to the playoffs.
Man, like I'm like, he'll get him there, but I mean, like Carson Wentz statistically wasn't as bad as a lot of people are making him to be. He did have those plays during the game that made you scratch your head. He had like 1 or 2 of them, but it's definitely an upgrade though. I think not just performance on the field, but I just think in leadership, I think it's an upgrade as well too. But hey, I wanted to quickly go back on the Deshaun Watson thing though, real quick. I wanted to ask y'all a question. Were y'all surprised? First of all, were y'all surprised that he got $230 million guaranteed with 22 civil cases still pending and not speaking? And like, we haven't heard anything from him publicly. Do y'all like? Y'all surprised?
That is the reason he flipped the script on everybody. Is because Cleveland called him and said, "We're gonna give you guaranteed money." He's like, "Oh, I said I wasn't going to Cleveland. I'm fucking going to Cleveland. I'm going to Cleveland. I don't care what happens in these cases. I'm going to Cleveland."
Real quick, because I was listening to a talk show and they said he went to sleep. They sources close to him was like he went to sleep and it was like 0 to 10% chance that he was going to Cleveland, and then woke up the next day, was like, "Hey, Cleveland, so what it look like, LeBron? What's the spots to hit, man? Where I'm going?"
What's even crazier about that situation is Cleveland never contacted his attorney lawyer about any of these cases. So they did no research on this at all. And they just
said they did their due diligence.
Yeah,
hey, Deshaun, did you do it?
They've never called him.
It's crazy.
Well, we see the criminal cases are sticking. I mean, civil cases, just like they threw that $230 million, you can throw money around in the civil cases. So it seemed like they gotta either hand in something or heads up on something, just to guarantee somebody that, like you said, got all this going against them, that type of money, man. So I think they know something we don't know.
I'm sure they do. And my second question was, do y'all think him getting $230 million guaranteed change how the next future quarterbacks, how their contracts get dealt? Like Kyler Murray, who's looking for an extension, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow when his contract is due, Justin Herbert, like these guys who don't have anything pending or don't have any off the field issues, like they're gonna be like, Deshaun got 230. I want something like that. Like, do you think that like that's the future of contracts for quarterbacks? I mean, this deal was similar to like Giannis deal of the NBA and like Steph Curry of the NBA. Like this has never happened in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on this. I don't know if it was actually on the show or not, but we touched on it, and it's kind of like how the NBA kind of bully their way around shit. It's kind of like, will this be a bully move? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the circumstances around Deshaun kind of like, it was like a bidding war already for him. Everybody was just trying to see what's going to happen with the cases. I don't think he actually flexed that hard. I think he already was in a good position. But I don't know. We could see the NFL start to flex a little harder like the NBA do and kind of force their hand in this shit.
This is the shit that fucks up the game. It's like the Joe Flacco contract. Once Joe got that contract, all salary caps got fucked. Like,
I mean, I'm good.
This is the reason why I have to respect Brady even more. Like, he is the one quarterback that will sit back and be like to man, like, look, put a team around me, pay me, but I don't need that flashy. I don't need to be the top quarterback paid in the league, even though I'm the GOAT. And everybody knows I'm the best quarterback in this league. I don't need to get that contract to prove it, but I'm going to put a team around me because all these other quarterbacks that are getting this crazy contract, it ain't doing nothing for your team. And it's messing up the game for the teams. And crazy.
Man, we thought Patrick Mahomes' deal was something like 2 years ago when he got that $500 million over 10, 12 years. They restructured his deal, so he's getting like 21 million, per season. I just want to know,
right?
huh?
That's why Tyreek's going probably because he wasn't gonna pay him no more.
Yeah. I just want to know with Deshaun Watson, man. Damn, why you just couldn't get one masseuse, bro? Like, why 22, man? Why not just one,
22?
man?
And it's probably a lot more than 22, honestly. It's just 22 that came to the cases.
Why not just one masseuse, Deshaun? Why 22, bro? 22 that we know of. Man, damn, crazy, man.
So, speaking of, and then as soon as that Deshaun Watson deal goes down, it was Falcons and the Saints that were in the running. Falcons switched up, got Mariota. Saints signed Jameis Winston right away. So that leaves San Francisco holding their prized possession trade bait that we kept swearing by. Somebody's going to take Jimmy G, somebody. And the quarterback market just went to nothing. Like we said earlier, Seattle Panthers, and I guess Houston's still in there maybe. Like, what happens with Jimmy G? Do they try to trade him for the low? They actually had offers for a second round and 2 second-round picks offered to them, but these didn't make this move in this offseason. So does he get traded this offseason, or do they get stuck holding him, you think?
They're going to hold him.
Again.
They're going to hold him. Why? I mean, they're going to hold him, run it back, bro. Like, you was one game away from the Super Bowl? Run it back, man. Like, you probably, I don't know who, did they say who offered them that deal for the second round picks by chance?
They didn't say the teams.
But okay, so I wonder if it was like like Seattle or somebody. But I mean, I don't know what you're gonna get for him. I honestly think that's not a bad deal. We just seen Matt Ryan go for a 3. We've seen Carson Wentz go for a 3. I know Jimmy G's a little bit younger, but he's coming off a shoulder injury. But I don't think that was a bad offer. But I think San Francisco holds on to him. They run it back. Let Trey Lance get, I think they kind of do what the 49ers did with not the 49ers, what the Chiefs did with Alex Smith. If he gets hurt, he's out. Like, they're not even gonna, if he has the opportunity to come back, and we don't wish injury on nobody, but if he does start the season out and he somehow gets injured, Trey Lance is in there, they don't look back. And they hold him. Or they hold them until like training camp where somebody gets hurt and they know they can get a better deal. So I think they keep Jimmy G unless a quarterback goes down between now and, preseason or regular season. Then they can make a trade for him.
What you think, Willie? What do you think about Jimmy G?
I'm trying to figure out what all the fuss about moving Jimmy G is. Like I said earlier, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. I don't really get it. Like who you gonna get? What you gonna do? I don't see how you make yourself more of a contender than you already are by trading them. So I never understood why they were talking about moving them to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up a lot to get Trey Lance, so that's I feel like they believe in him, but maybe they don't. That's why they're holding on to Jimmy G too. And Jimmy G didn't do. I talked to a 49ers fan earlier this week. He definitely didn't do him no favors where he waited a month after that playoff loss to get this surgery. He could have got that surgery right after that, and he would have been healthy before training camp and everything. And now he's looking at not being healthy beginning training camp. So that's definitely not good for any team trying to get him.
But again, Seattle, Carolina. Seattle, you're probably not going to trade within the division, right? Carolina only has a certain amount of picks in 2022. They only have like 5 picks. I mean, unless you're going to trade like future picks away. But are you really trading future picks away for Jimmy G? Nah. Are you going to give up the little bit of picks that you have now for Jimmy G unless you put Sam Darnold in the trade? Nah. So it just doesn't make sense to trade him. You don't want to trade him in the division. So you really got Carolina. And if I'm Carolina, I'm not trading the little bit of picks that I got for Jimmy G. He's not that much of a difference maker. Nah, he's better than what you got right now. True. But I mean, you can get Kenny Pickett, or you can get, Malik Willis coming out the draft. They got the sixth pick of the draft this year. So you can get one of them, you know, sit them on the bench, let Sam Darnold do Sam Darnold things, and go from there.
Speaking about the draft now, we got David Ajabo, who was the number one outside linebacker. I hope I didn't butcher his name either there.
Nah, you said it right. I'm a Michigan fan, so yeah.
From Michigan, number one outside linebacker in the draft, he say, from Mel Kiper's reports, gets injured on his pro day, and the video comes out, and it looks like everybody just watches this guy from the sideline. Guy goes, pick up the ball, drops, and just like keeps it moving, or it looks like, kind of thing. Do we see the whole scenario played out in front of us, or is there things that aren't in the video maybe that we don't see?
Hopefully. You saw what you saw. You saw that shit right. The NFL, the motherfuckers don't care, man. They just like, damn. Oh well, who's the next linebacker that like it's fucked up, man. Like, again, I'm a University of Michigan football fan, so to see him go down, it was just, well, to hear him go down, it sucked to hear. I think Michigan, I think if I'm projected in the first round, this is just me. If I'm projected in the first round, and I'm not, what I'm saying, I'm not gonna really be doing all this work on no pro day. Let me just let y'all know that right now. Like, I done been in a combine. I done put 3 years of tape together, or 2 to 3 years of tape together. I went to the combine. I do a few little drills, maybe 1 or 2. I'm not doing all that because I don't want to risk getting hurt. Now you got this guy now who's he was a projected a first round pick. He probably definitely slide. He was projected probably like in the 20th pick or whatever. And of course, the NFL going NFL. They don't care. They don't care about the players. They don't care. They claim they want safety protocol and player safety, but again, when a player goes down like this, as we saw one of the scouts, just like G said, just like walk towards them, walked around them, move the ball, sidebar, didn't even call for the medical team. So nah, you saw what you saw. The NFLing.
I did not see that video. I'm kind of glad I didn't, if it seemed that way, but I did not see that video. He's Nigerian, Nigerian born and raised in, I don't want to say, but I think Scotland it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I know he just came over. Like, he came over when he was 15.
While he was working so hard, maybe nobody really hit them to game, told him these type of things. Like, yeah, you good. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he was working it because he felt like, he felt like most foreigners do. Like, they gotta, show and prove and everything like that. But I most definitely, I didn't see the video, but I most definitely just looking at how you say he's gonna slide. He goes from being projected as the number one outside linebacker to possibly going, I don't know, they say maybe in the second, maybe going into the third. The one good thing that I did read up on, that I did see, it says that his expected rehabilitation time should only take 6 months. So these type of injuries at one point in time would most definitely could have been career ending. And we're seeing people come back in less time. And he's young, so hopefully his body heals well and everything goes well in that sense. It's a minor setback for the young kid. But yeah, it's most definitely, it's just not the NFL though. As much as I would like to just leave it there, it's not the NFL. It's the world we live in. We live in a dog eat dog world. The strong survive. Next man up. You know what it is. Sad situation, very sad situation, especially like you said on a pro day. You know what I'm saying? He should have been out there taking pictures. but
yeah. But I just feel, I know it's the next man up, and I know we living in certain kind of times, but I still feel like you still gotta have like this dude. He's trying to get a bag. He's trying to secure his future. You know what I'm saying? Like you still gotta be like, this man just tore his ACL. You didn't even know he tore his ACL. He just felt like he injured himself. And they've been around the game long enough to know a non-contact injury, something similar to that, it's normally an ACL tear. And I mean, you could at least like, I mean, even if you're not, you know, licensed or medically, like you could at least call the, you know, the people over to come look at him and stuff like that, you know, just kind of talk to him, calm him down, kind of just, you know what I'm saying, just kind of hopefully just kind of calm him down. But to just kind of like still move around and act like, you know, damn, fuck it, you know, just another day. I think that's the shit that blows me, you know what I'm saying, about the NFL.
You can tell he was in, you can tell visually he was in physical, you can tell he was in like excruciating pain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Once he went down, you knew it was he wasn't doing no more drills for that day or the week or the month, pretty much. And it was just like, and some other horror stories, not horror stories, but like some other players and Louis Riddick come out and say it's infuriating for them. Darius Slay came out and was like, look, shit happens like this in practice. Coaches just move the balls 10 yards up and continue with practice. Sometimes it's just sad. It's like,
damn.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's the machine. Yeah, it's just like the machine. It's like, oh, that part don't work. Okay, we gotta get rid of that part. Bring another part in. And I mean, it's just
and cry about spilled milk or something, right?
Yeah, but then you come out with new rules to protect players for player safety. And see, that's the contradicting of like it's bullshit.
Yeah, we know that's for their own safety. You understand? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna have to pay that money. So they say, let's put some things in place now where we either give you a little bit something, or we tell you a little dumbass. We got that for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's we're gonna cover ourselves just with those things.
And I mean, like you said, Willie, you know, the ACL tear, it used to be like a career-ending injury. Now it's like, depending on your body, it's between 6 months, 6 to 12 months. You had Sam Akers who came back from it in 6 months. The Rams running back. My team actually drafted a guy in 2019 who tore his ACL preparing for the draft, and it took him about 8 months. He was a defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons. It took him 8 months to, you know, finally get back on the field and be able to play. So he can definitely come back from it. He sent out a tweet. You know, he seemed like he was in good spirits. So definitely prayers and thoughts go out to him, David Ojabo. You know, we'll see where he goes in the draft. Hopefully he can still stay in that first round. Because that money changes once you get to the second.
It's like Jalen Smith. I mean, my Cowboys got a deal on him when he got that joint. So,
interesting enough with those type of injuries, though, it do seem like it comes back. It do seem like it comes back sometimes in the long run, but not necessarily in the long run. But that's just like we seen with Odell. You know, even I know, and I ain't, like you said, no medical, but I know once those non-contact injuries happen like that, it's usually something serious. But it happens. It seems like it repeats itself. It seems like they come back, they rehab fast, but that wear and tear seems like it catch up to them. But,
it can be tricky. I mean, even with Klay Thompson, we seen Klay, you know, when you working out there, and I've got a friend who actually tore his ACL, and he was putting so much pressure on the other leg that he ended up tearing the other ACL. You know what I'm saying? We saw that with Klay Thompson as well. Like, you know, so I mean, prayers that doesn't happen to him, and hopefully, you know, after this injury, he can recover and don't have to worry about it. But it can be tricky at times, like you said, Willie. So.
And we got one last topic in the NFL. We'll be quick with it. You know, NFL offseason didn't give us any more information tonight, but next week, who knows? We'll be talking about some more trades right now, the way it's going. But
tomorrow, once the episode drops, there's gonna be more news.
That's what happened with the Watson trade. We recorded
exactly
next day, bam, flip switch.
I said, this motherfucker here, man.
So
Hot Soul Man say, fuck Deshaun Watson.
yeah, new hot topic. I guess he's done already, but some more information came out about Urban Meyer being an absolutely amazing coach. I mean, probably not amazing, actually. He's probably one of the dumbest coaches in the NFL to get hired. So they say that he didn't even know who Aaron Donald was, Deebo Samuel, and there was somebody else.
Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams from Seattle. He's not on tape, not supposedly on record, talking to one of his assistants like, yo, about the Rams, we're playing next week. I heard this 99 guy's a problem. What you know about it? Come on.
Oh, man.
He shot build the game. He shot build the game. Fuck them players. I know the game. The game don't
Yeah,
play.
exactly. I know the X's and the O's. I know the X's and the O's of the game. Yo.
But I like him because I'm dumbfounded as he is. But yeah, I love him. Make me feel good. I'm like, who will have these names too?
Willie, you on the podcast with us.
So
You're not a coach in the NFL. It's different, B.
My man say X's and O's. I know that much. I don't need to know who Aaron is or none of them. Just gonna fuck up my scheme anyway. I don't need to know who they is. They gonna make me think what I need
even
to.
his X's and O's was bad. Like that's what make it even worse, bro. Like his X's and O's were bad. I mean, dog, where do you start? I mean, I was looking at the timeline from this dude, man. I mean, just it seemed like month after month, he just was terrible. Just a few timeline things. February, G mentioned, of course, he didn't know the star players. Then, like February 11th, he hired the Iowa coach Chris Doyle, who was players were speaking out against him for racism and bullying allegedly. May 20th, he signs Tebow. In training camp, one of his receivers breaks a finger because he believes in contact drills, despite of them telling him nah. What else? He gets his ass beat in the season opener.
I heard. I don't know if it was true or not. And there was an article that something along with this article that said every something day he had everybody wear Tebow's jersey number because that's who he wants everybody.
Yeah, I heard that same. I heard that same thing too. It's crazy. And then this was the one thing that caught me too. It didn't make a lot of headlines, but they said on September 22nd, they said Urban Meyer made a comment to the Broncos coach Vic Fangio. He said every week is like playing Alabama in the NFL. Duh. Like,
yeah, everybody is better than Alabama in the NFL usually.
Bruh, like, what are we doing?
I get him. I get what he was trying to say. He was saying there's a much more. I get what he was trying to say. I get him.
He said this shit hard, man. This shit really hard. They on all Madden out here.
They fast on this motherfucker, man. Like, damn.
Let's hope he stays out the NFL and these GMs understand, like, hey, college coaches don't always work out very good for us.
He say, hey, man. He say, hey, Trevor Lawrence. Hey, man, help that man John Brown, man. They transcripts ain't right down here, man. He a little slow, man. Them Southern boys. They transcript ain't right. I just want to know this question right here. I'm gonna keep it real short. One, if Urban Meyer was doing this in professional athletes, what do you think he was doing to the college players?
Well, he gets away with it in college because he can take people's scholarship away. He can't take people's contracts away like that in the NFL. So that's the kind of guy he was in college, I believe.
Oh, I believe he was 10 times worse. If not, I mean, I'm waiting for the 30 for 30 to drop. But like you said, man, hopefully Buddy's out the league forever. Is he the worst coach ever, in y'all's opinion?
And it's hard to think of people who are off the top of my head, so I'm going with yes at this point.
The only person I could think of was
for the NFL, because I mean he did his thing in college, so you can't give him that.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about in the NFL, yeah, because we know what he did in college. I mean, he fucking kicked the kicker. How ironic, like, and he didn't fly back with the team. He started fucking with some, little joint on the side and was like, oh yeah, I stayed back for the grandkids. Buddy is the worst coach ever in the NFL.
Got the bag.
They should sue his ass for that shit too.
Yeah. Speaking, we going to college here. NCAA Sweet 16s happening as we podcast right now. My Zags fucking out. Losers champions. Champions, whatever you want to call them. They are out and they are on the couch with me watching the rest of this NCAA tournament.
Shit, Duke is on their way too. They losing right now in the first half.
Zona's losing right now as well. It's upset city right now in the NCAA. Like it's really
life.
Speaking about upset city, we got what the biggest story, Cinderella story. St. Petersburg takes down Kentucky. The number 15 seed. No 15 seed has passed the Sweet 16. Do y'all think St. Petersburg can do it this year? Do you think they can beat Purdue?
I think I'm rooting for them to do it, right? I feel like I'm rooting for them to do it. I think they got the attitude. I think they got the right mentality. They play good defense. They're aggressive on offense. However, I am worried about their size against Purdue. So it poses a matchup problem. I'm rooting for them. I think they got a good chance, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Granted, I didn't see a lot of shit in March Madness happening. That's why it's March Madness. But I don't think they get past Purdue tomorrow. So I think the run is over. I think it was great. I think it was good coverage. However, I do think Miami has a chance to move on, though.
Ooh, going with the underdogs, Miami. I see.
Yeah,
I agree.
What you think? What you
I
think
agree.
really
Shout
about
out to
Petersburg?
I haven't really seen them too much, but what I did notice that Jay mentioned was the size thing. I would try and go back and look them up and see what their numbers look like. But I have seen Purdue. I know Purdue is pretty big out there. So
pause.
the size, they're pretty big out there. I know that's usually the case with the Cinderella stories with the not major schools. Their players usually a little bit undersized. So I know that jumps out, but I haven't really been able to catch them. But I do want to shout out to the U. Let's see what the U gonna do.
The U, man, they got a nice little mob, man. They got a nice little mob. I feel like they are pretty seasoned, and I know G mentioned this a few episodes before that part of a good team or a good run is having a seasoned team, and I believe a lot of their players are like third and fourth year players. So I think they got 4 players and averaging double digits scoring. So I think they got the momentum. I think they have an easier path to the Final Four than St. Peter's. So that's why I'm kind of rolling with Miami to get further than St. Pete. What about you, G?
Man, all I know is I'm probably going to be dead last in our Man Cave Madness bracket.
Hey, how's the other guy doing?
There's only 3 of us in this thing, and I think I'm third.
Well, you third tonight. I might be right behind you because Duke is losing right now. So,
oh my goodness!
You said, and the other buddy picked Gonzaga too, didn't he?
He's got Gonzaga also. So
damn.
Basically, we're all out of this thing pretty much, unless Duke wins here. Then you might run away with it.
Come on, Duke, get your boy.
Like if Gonzaga wasn't winning, I figured Arizona would win. They're losing right now tonight. So I love the stuff. I love March Madness. This is anybody's tournament, it looks like right now. Let's go fucking St. Petersburg.
Hey,
Why not, right?
Hey, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him, man. I'm rooting for him. They got the black head coach. They from Jersey City. He said, "We from Jersey. Do we look like we scared? Huh?"
Oh yeah.
I thought he was gonna give me the X bar, like, "Arr, arr." You know what I'm saying? Like, do we? Y'all bitches won, you know. So yeah, I'm definitely rooting for him though, yeah. So
Yeah. We will
Shout out
find
to them.
out by next week. We will have the Elite Eight and possibly the Final Four while we're recording. Honestly, we'll definitely have the Elite Eight set, so we'll be able to talk a little bit more about this next week, and possibly all be making new picks.
hey, let me ask you this though. What you think about the refereeing so far in March in the tournament? It's been some crazy calls or non-calls.
There's been a couple. I haven't seen anything that made like. I know there was one. I forget what game it was that kind of had a little effect in the game.
I know which one you're talking about. You gotta remember this one, G. You watch too much basketball. The Arizona and TCU game. I think that was the worst call of the tournament so far. If y'all haven't seen that, go ahead and YouTube it. Where what's his name? Was bringing the ball up the court and he got fouled at the half court line. Stepped back over the half court line, lost the ball, and what's his name? Something Terry, Dylan Terry. That's Jason Terry's son. Picked the ball up to slam dunk it for what looked like to be the game-winning basket, but the time ran out and they went into overtime. So, that shit's wild. There's a few other bad calls too.
We go bump up to the big boy league here. We got NBA action. We got about 9 or 10 games left in the season. Still playoffs up for grabs and not up for grabs for some teams still now. But we got a big heated scoring title going down here. We got a couple people up there. We got oldest man in the league. Well, maybe he's not the oldest man. He's not the oldest man in the league, but he's the oldest man in the league, leading the league in scoring right now. LeBron is at 30 points a game. Embiid's at 29.8 and Giannis is at 29.7. Now, the person with the most games left is Embiid. LeBron has the least games at 8. Embiid has 10 and Giannis has 9 games left, not including tonight's games. So
Giannis is out.
Who do y'all think is taking down the scoring title?
I'm gonna say somebody that you didn't name.
Okay.
I like underdogs. He just dropped 45 in MSG. I don't know. I know it's getting, it's getting a little cold out here. You know what I'm saying? I know we're getting into them summer months, but I think Ice Trey. I think Trae Young. He's averaging 28.1. He's a little further back, but I think with his situation, with them trying to make the play-in game, I think with Giannis and LeBron like sitting out games, I think he has a chance to surpass both of them to kind of like creep up and steal it and get the title. And I just think Embiid, I think they're gonna I think they're jockeying for position. So some games you saw them the other night, they sat Embiid and Harden. So I think they're gonna kind of go that route down the line. So I think Trae Young got a chance to get it.
I can dig it. Who you think, Willie?
I'm going with the King. I think I still don't. Well, I do see that they're right there in their playoff. I mean, in their play-in game. But I still am not too sure about my Lakers making the playoffs. But they are in that play-in game right now. I think LeBron go on a crazy ass tear down the stretch. Now, I'm not too sure if it's gonna be enough.
He's been on a tear. You ain't lying about that right now. He's been putting this tear on it in.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be enough to get him in the playoffs, but that's the objective. So I think he's gonna seek that objective, and I think he's gonna do his best to get him there. And I think he's gonna have to average 30 plus.
50 plus.
Yeah, he's gonna have to average some points, man. But I'm going with the King. I think he got, and plus, he said he like that hater shit. He looks for reasons to be motivated. It looks like a reason to be motivated to me. So
reasons.
I can
I
definitely
thought
see it happening. Like LeBron just like, you know what? Fuck it. All this talk about me right now, I'm about to lead the league in scoring.
Yeah,
This as why I am the GOAT. That's what he's gonna say, right?
and I thought about him. Only thing that scared me about him was his knee and him missing games. Because I definitely thought, and I definitely wouldn't mind seeing LeBron win it at 37 in year 19, winning a scoring title. Man, but it just him sitting out. That's the only thing that worries me about him.
Yeah, I from my pick here, I'm going with Embiid actually. I think he puts up some big buckets down this stretch. Make sure that Philly hopefully gets it up to the number 2 spot locked down and everything.
They better be
So
careful.
that's what they're looking for. And I think Embiid, you know what? He does this because he wants the MVP. He's like, I deserve this shit. I don't care. I got James Harden this late in the season. I'm the reason we got here.
I'm gonna tell you like this, G. They better pray. They better move down to that 3 spot. They better not go to 1 or 2. I'm telling you now. They didn't lifted the vaccine mandate. Brooklyn about to get Kyrie back. I'm telling you, they gonna jump from at least they gonna get to the 7th spot. I'm telling you, and Willie, we already know we got our little friendly bet. You know what I'm saying? Philly don't want that smoke, bro. I'm telling you. Just want to let you know. They just lost to Memphis the other night. I'm just saying. So
Brooklyn right now, Brooklyn is in the playing game.
Yeah, they 8th right now. And I think I think Toronto was 2 games ahead of them. I think. So it's gonna be interesting. Even if they move to number 1 and Brooklyn stays at 8, or Philly don't want that smoke, man.
yeah. I'm gonna keep rocking with him, even though I will say that Brooklyn is catching fire at the right time. That things coming together for Brooklyn. They catching fire at the right time. But I think it'd be like you said. I think he say never mind James Harden, like my man G when he said. He said never mind James Harden. I'm gonna go ahead and take the lead. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I think he wants the MVP, but I think he do got to kind of like either James got to get on board with him and really show why he's been the league MVP and why he's been the scoring champion, or Embiid just got to be like, fuck it, man. I got to do what I got to do.
I'll just say this. James Harden is not the James Harden we seen in Houston. This is a different James Harden. Ever since he left Houston, he ain't been the same.
Speaking of scoring champions, I mean, we got Steph Curry. He's out right now. He's out. Marcus Smart, dirty play, hard foul. I don't know, but what happens with the Warriors now? Where did he end up? I want to say the number 3. They're the number 3 seed right now in the West. They got a 3-game lead on the Jazz. They're down 3 games to the Grizzlies. Where did he end up? They got about 8 to 9 games left.
So he's not coming back for the season, or for the regular season at least?
For the regular season, it doesn't look good.
Okay. Go ahead, Jay.
Shit, I'm trying to see where they at. So I think they probably slide to how many games they got left? I think they probably slide to 5. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Should be 9 games left.
5. I mean, they play some teams too. They got our Wizards, y'all Wizards, G's Wizards. The 27th.
You saying that's a win?
Yeah, I'm saying that's. I'm sorry. I think they beat the Kings. They might beat the Kings. They got the Spurs. They got the Suns. They got the Celtics. They got the Bucks. Lakers, Clippers, Hawks, Grizzlies, Jazz.
It sounded like a lot of L's to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And I don't know if y'all know, but Chris Paul, I think is back too, or is coming back tonight. So I think they probably fall to like 5th or 6th. It's never good when you lose a player of Steph's caliber this late in the season, especially right before the playoffs. But of course, they're going to make the playoffs. It's just about where they're going to be seated. So I think they're going to be seated in the 6th spot. Again, that's not a team that you want to play. You know, a 3 team that whoever's 3, I'm sure you don't want to play the Warriors. And hopefully Steph can come back and he can regain where he was at. You know what I'm saying? He did give an update on his injury. He stated that he believes that he'll be back before the playoffs. So that's a good sign. And I look forward to seeing him coming back, man. They just got Draymond back. So they were just starting to kind of get things going. And they lost. I mean, they just lost 3 games straight the other night until they beat Miami. So, I mean, they lost to Orlando. So, they're going to fall. And once Steph comes back, you know, we'll forget about all of that.
He can make us forget about those things with those shots. I'll tell you that.
I think they stay at 3.
Stay at 3, really?
I think they stay at 3.
Because Andrew Wiggins is going to make sure they stay at 3.
God. All-star and starting all-star Andrew Wiggins at that.
He's going to make sure they stay there.
That's why they got Jonathan Kuminga. He's the real guy there.
Exactly.
Otto Porter, Wizards, former Wizards, saving the day.
Yeah. Trying to tell you, buddy. Trying to tell you.
Man. Speaking about saving the day, could Zion save the day for New Orleans? I mean, he posted videos of him doing between the legs windmills. Like,
that shit was
why isn't he on the floor?
It was nasty.
Oh, that shit was lights.
But supposedly he's not coming back this season.
You know what's crazy about that? I think he will be. The crazy thing about it is they had said, like, they had ruled him out. I think it was like on a Monday. And then on like Tuesday or Monday night, he comes out with the windmill dunk. Like, bruh, it's the shit that's been going on with the Pelicans, man. They just not on the same. They haven't been on the same timeline as far as his injuries. Like, I think it's kind of a rebellious act. I kind of think that, you know, he's just showing that, like, man, y'all are the reason that I'm not playing. Like, I'm able to play, but y'all are holding me back. And y'all are trying to make it look like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. But this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to show y'all. Because, of course, the team didn't clear him to do a windmill dunk, right? But he did it anyway. So I just think that's Zion, you know, just kind of like saying I'm frustrated, I'm tired, I'm fed up, I want out of this bitch. The food is great, but I'm out. And, I mean, the Pelicans did clear him to practice one-on-one, if that counts for anything. I mean, he was, you know, that counts.
When I saw the dunk, I thought about what Jay just said. Jay mentioned that a little earlier in one of our podcasts. He said that he think that basically Zion wanted out of New Orleans and that wasn't the right fit for him. And when they say he wasn't going to play it, then he threw that drain off the backboard that came between the legs. I was like, oh, he was like, fuck y'all. Like,
Exactly.
like you said, that was a statement. Like, he really made a statement with that. Yeah. So, yeah, I would be surprised if he don't stick around in New Orleans too long. But, you know, they got a halfway decent squad, man. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah. I mean,
obsessing people.
They're right. They're in the playing game.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, if he gets to the playoffs, do you not unleash Zion? I mean,
I know.
Nah, don't play him. Don't play him. Don't play him, man.
This has been a sideline thrown off the backboard.
Bro ain't played the whole season. You can throw him in the playoffs? Like, that ain't.
I would.
Organization telling you, like, we really don't care about winning right now. We that's not our focus. Like, why do I get around an organization that does not want to fucking win? We have this guy. We know he can dominate the fucking court. Why can't we put him out there, try to win some games? What are you telling me this organization is about? It's
because I think for New Orleans, it's about the future. Like, I think it's about next year. I think you got contract year coming up for Zion. You don't need him going out there. I mean, say you do play him, right? You gonna know he's gonna be on a minutes restriction, so you're not even gonna get what you really supposed to get out of him. So if you're gonna have him on minute restriction, you might as well just not let him play. Let CJ, Brandon Ingram do their thing, Devontae Graham or whatever, and then let him come back next year. You see what he can do. You know, let him play out his contract, and then go from there. And you know, then you see what you got. But I mean, like, he ain't really give them an opportunity to see what they got. I mean, he gave them what, one season? I mean, he averaged 26 and 7. And then after that, it was like, I'm hurt. You know, he told him at the last minute, right before the season opener, like, yeah, I got this bone in my foot. It's kind of fucked up. So, I mean, man, don't play that, man. Don't play that young man right now, man. Even if they get in the play-in game, man, just let Brandon Ingram and CJ do their thing and shut it down for next year.
What you think, Willie?
That's my.
Not a bad conclusion. Not a bad conclusion. Like I say, he clearly can do something. He still can do some work. Now, I can see the argument of just letting him sit. You know, like I said, maybe let him sit and start off fresh next season. But he clearly can do some damage. I don't know for how long, but I can see him sitting. It's not a bad conclusion for him to just sit it out and let them, like you said, let CJ and Brandon do their thing.
Hey, man, I mean, give me fucking 12 minutes of Zion instead of 6 minutes of Jackson Hayes out there. You know?
I mean, I do think if you put Zion, of course you're gonna, you know, hopefully you can sell out a
double in 12 minutes. He has the capability.
Man, it's like a strip tease, dog. Like, it's like, man, you get the girl, but you don't get the smack. Like, man, nah, man. Like,
still throw dollars. Let's go.
I know, but I mean, it's just
they can get the dollars.
If it wasn't like a foot injury, I'd be kind of like with it. But because it's a foot injury, it's a little bit more like, I mean, yeah, it looks good with him dunking off the, you know, throwing windmills down, but running up and down the court, you know what I'm saying? Like, even for them 11 and 12 minutes.
Lateral movement, all that stuff, defensive wise, is a different thing than just going up and doing a dunk. It's totally different. I get that. But
yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Now, like you said, contract year coming up next year.
Yeah, he did prove he's not lazy. You know, he got in shape like everybody was trying to say.
I mean,
lazy.
shit, it's his job.
Yeah, I mean, he's still young, but it's still not easy to drop the kind of weight. Yo, he's showing you that he got this crazy ass metabolism too, man. Like, he's just a freak of nature.
I'm trying to get on this plane.
Yeah. You probably got to drop about 10 years first.
Yeah,
you got to be younger.
I'm 25 off break, bro. What you talking about? I'm good. I'm 25 off easy.
There you go. Then you see the regimen, 30 days, all you need.
Yeah, I'm about to be on my Zion shit. Man. I'm about to get this weight off. Let's go, Zion. I'm with you, bro. Let's get it popping, man. I'll meet you somewhere. Not New Orleans, though. They got some good food, though. Meet in Portland somewhere, bro. Let's get it popping. Let's go, Zion.
Speaking about Portland, it's cold up there. We're gonna go to some ice hockey right now. Crazy story here. Crazy story. Central Collegiate Hockey Association, number 1 seed, Minnesota State. They're playing against Bemidji State. It's tied 1-1 regulation. They go into overtime. Minnesota State scores the game-winning overtime goal. They're going crazy. They're celebrating. They win the game. Everybody goes through the celebration. Hour and a half later, the officials from the college, whatever, they're looking at the video. Goalie's foot kicked the goal up about a couple inches. The puck slides through behind the goal, so the goal does not count. They have to literally call up both of these teams and like, hey, I need y'all to come back. We're gonna finish playing this overtime game because that's not an official goal. Do you give the collegiate people credit for making that call to bring him back, not accepting that result, or what's your take on that? Like,
this story was crazy.
Crazy.
Fuck. So I had to like really look into it. Like I really not look into it, but like I had to like watch videos of like the actual footage. I was trying to see. They said the net was lifted up, so
Yes. So
I
the puck
couldn't.
went underneath the back, like where the pole comes down.
Yeah,
The puck went underneath the back part of it instead of in front where it has to go.
I mean, I think it was a good call. I mean, it's a gutsy call because an hour or so for athletes to compete at that level and then kind of like shut it down because they think that the game is over, and to have to call them back to play. You got some player safety issues in there, but I think it was the right call. I mean, it was a championship on the line, and they wanted to make sure they got the right call. So definitely gutsy as hell. The arena, they allowed like I think they got about 60 to 70% of the fans back in there to cheer them on. So I think it was dope. I think it was Minnesota State. They still ended up winning the game. So the other team lost twice. So it kind of sucks for them because they came out on a bad end of it. But I definitely do think that it was the right call. I give them credit for doing the right thing. It's not always the cool and trendy thing to do, but I think they got it right. And I give them a ton of credit for doing that shit because that takes a lot of credit. So shout out to them.
What do you think, Will?
I think more of that should be done. I know it sounds crazy and shit, but we see calls a lot, that changes the dynamic of a game, and we see it clearly. It's not like it goes under the radar, like everybody can clearly see calls that should have been reversed, and it doesn't. So I'm with it. Like I said, I'm surprised that everybody came back because I'm probably like, fuck y'all. Hey, I can't make it. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't with it. So.
I done took the pads off, bro.
Yeah,
like I'm soaking in the tub. Like, bro,
the Minnesota State guys might have been halfway tipsy already celebrating.
Yeah, like smoking cigars. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? We got to go back on the ice? I don't even think I can skate right now. Like,
hey, I'm fucking hammered right now off this shit.
Like, the hour and a half is exaggerated, but
I was trying to figure out how they got the fans back. That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? Like, you can't just call them back.
They still was around getting fucked up too. They ain't go too far.
Celebrating.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's definitely one of the wildest things I've seen or heard in sports in a long time. That's for sure.
I wonder what the spread on that shit was, like what the over and under and shit was. Like, I wonder like what the bet was on that shit. That's crazy. Yeah. They got it right though, man. They got it right though.
Props to them for making the right call, getting them back. Because like you said, Willie, these types of things happen all the time, and we have the technology to make that shit right. Like, make it right.
And they create all these rules and challenges for you to get it right. They go to New York, all this bullshit, and they still get it wrong. Like, dude, what the fuck?
Every fucking NFL game. Get him this from New York.
And then they come back and be like, they give you the wrong play. You be like, dog, what the fuck did I just watch? So again, man, shout out to them for getting it right, man. Shout out for them not to be too drunk to skate, and let alone, that's a lot.
Even agreeing, being what you say, a good sport. Like we said, it could have been like, yeah, whatever, man, y'all tripping.
What do you say in the locker room to get these dudes like amped back up to go out and play? Like, hey guys, we still got a chance. We didn't lose. We got a chance.
I just gave the same speech an hour and a half ago. And we still lost.
Got the same outcome.
Look, they can be tired this time. They might be a little fucked up. We can get this win, all right? And then they still lose. Like, damn. So we beat y'all sober and drunk.
Another last crazy topic we got here is woman's top tennis player in the world, WTA world #1 player, Ash Barty, age 25, retires from professional tennis. at age 25, on top of the world, best player in the world at this moment. She retires and will no longer be playing tennis, she says. What y'all think of that type of move, pretty much? 25.
I think I was surprised. I think to be at the top of your game, number one player that takes a lot of nuts, testicular fortitudes, Lia Thomas type shit.
Those things.
Yeah. But it's definitely surprising. I listened to her IG post when she made the announcement. She mentioned she just doesn't have the physical drive and the emotional want to compete at the high level of sports. To me, it kind of sounds like she's just burnt out in a sense. She's probably been doing this her whole life to get to, to be the number one player. So I give her props. It's hard for a lot of players. We just seen this shit with Brady. It's hard for a lot of these players to walk away from the game. She says she wants to pursue other, some other dreams that she has and do other things. And she got what she needed. She secured the bag. She made her mark in tennis. I'm out. Fuck yeah.
What you think, Willie?
I don't know much, but I know that she'll be back. Like you said, she's 25, 26. Like you said,
that bag gonna get low, huh?
She probably can make do, especially if she financially savvy. She got the right people in the corner. You know what I'm saying? She probably can make do. I just think, at such a young age, man, like it's hard to really make those type of decisions. She just, like you said, she burnt out. She like basically she's saying I'm taking a break, But you see, you see so many young athletes these days. They kind of they're not afraid to, whether it be for mental health, whether it be for they just want to pursue other things. They're not afraid to step away from something that used to be like like a taboo. You couldn't you don't lose one job without the next. You know what I'm saying? Type thing, and they just like whatever. You know what I'm saying? They understand that they've accomplished more than what most people will accomplish in their entire life. And they did it at such a young age, and they just like feel themselves sometimes. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But she's too young to make that decision. She'll be back.
Hey, I'm jealous of her. Shit, I wish I could have retired. $25 million in the bag. I'm walking out in the best. I'm like, hey, I'm out. Drop the mic.
Bag drop. Exactly.
Tennis is a hard sport. I'm a fucking beast at tennis. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm a fucking beast at tennis.
You nice for real?
I play for real. I'm a certified teacher. I can teach tennis as a pro. I'm a certified pro at that. But it's crazy. Like I watched the Serena Williams on HBO, and one thing I clearly remember from her, she's like, I will never have my daughter play tennis because I don't want her going through the same thing I went through, kind of thing. And like you said, the burnout. She was burnt out at age 18 or 16. She did the same thing. She quit playing tennis after she just was she was the top one at that time too. Mm-hmm. Just won the Junior Wimbledon or something.
Yeah.
Took a break for like 2 years, and then she came back. She just won a hometown Australian Open last Grand Slam. So she went out on top. So she might be back, like you said, Willie, no doubt. But to be able to do that at age 25 and just chase whatever the fuck dreams you have with 25 must be nice.
My oldest son plays tennis. He just got promoted to team captain of the tennis team. So I might have to send him your way, G.
Hey,
get him right, young. But,
I do that.
That's what's up, man. Damn.
I like tennis. I ain't no good at it, but it's an active sport, man. People underestimate the cardio you got to put in that shit.
Yeah, that shit tough. That shit tough, man. I wanted to ask y'all this too, switching kind of the topic. And it's gonna be crazy that Calvin Ridley got a higher suspension than Deshaun Watson. Calvin Ridley probably gonna get suspended for a year, and Deshaun Watson probably gonna get 6 games. That shit's crazy. Just on my mind.
That's not the only case. There's been plenty of other cases like AP. He didn't get that
He
many.
was out for a year though.
Yeah, he was out for a year actually. There was a couple other ones though that also never got the light shown on them, I guess, as you say.
Yeah, Dante Stallworth. I mean, he killed the guy, so it's kind of only right that he got a year. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't get banned, but I mean, I don't wish no ill will on nobody, but it's just amazing to me what you like how they determine what suspension you get for what crime. So whatever.
Tell them where to find y'all, man. Tell them where to find y'all.
Hey, shit, y'all know me. I'm always on Twitter, IG, Jae Jones. You know what I'm saying? I made it simple for everybody, man. I'm on all 3 networks. I'm thinking about getting a TikTok. So just hit me up for right now. Jae Jones, Twitter, Facebook, IG. You dig?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Willie B, man. IG, Willie B, man. TikTok, I got a TikTok. I looked it up. I got a Twitter too. I looked it up.
Oh,
yeah, I got this shit. I just don't be. I got to look into it, get it right. Just be lingering.
Man, that's gonna be our job this week, G. We gonna have to get this motherfucker activated and remember his name, yeah. And I'm damn sure we get on TikTok. We gonna see a TikTok dance.
I will try to make the TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's something different. But I'm trying to make all of the Willie B, man. All of them gonna be the same. I ain't gonna complicate it. I'm gonna put it all the same shit.
Hey, you can find me at G Money Caveman on Twitter. You can find us at 613 Faye DMV on IG, Facebook 613 Faye Productions. You can find our Facebook group, The Man Cave Sports Podcast, on Facebook. I fucking forgot to say that at the beginning of the show, I feel like. Didn't know. Got this far in the show. This is The Man Cave Sports Podcast. And we will see y'all next week. Shit.
Hey, hold on, G. I want to say one thing. I also wanted to shout out Juwan Howard. I don't know if y'all seen, he consoled the young man from Tennessee. I know last, before the tournament, we were talking about, how he swung or how he hit the dude from Wisconsin. So I wanted to shout out Juwan Howard, man, for consoling, Kennedy Chandler. He knew the young man, his son and him played AAU ball together. So shout out to Juwan Howard, man. Keep doing your thing. Just wanted to shout you out. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was good sportsmanship for sure. If you didn't know, The Man Cave Sports Podcast. Again.
He forgot it.
On the show. And we out.
We out.